Hey there. So today we have another review. This is Better Than Never Hazy IPA from Deviant Wolfe in Sanford, Florida. Um, this was actually canned. I mean, thankfully it's really cool that they do mix 4 packs. So you just like pick up a bunch of beers, and that's what I did because I was picking up some dinner, um, and they're right next to a pizza place. But the thing is, this was canned about 2 months ago, literally to the day, 2 months ago. So not ideal. And we've had that issue before at a couple breweries that I worked at, and well, at one brewery we work for, really the trick is to that means that in the future you have to um, sort of like balance between what you keg and what you can. Because if the cans are not moving fast enough, that means the kegs are ideally moving fast enough for your tap room. If neither moving fast enough, then that's a big deal because now you're just not selling enough beer, and that's blah blah. But well, actually, the kegs will last longer in general because they sit in a walk-in. They don't have any DO can issues. So at that rate, if the cans are not moving, you just sell them out of your tap room because ideally at that point your kegs are gone. You sell the beer in can. Hey, we're selling the singles of the can. You can have them at our tap room. Blah blah. Discount price. At least you move the beer out. Hazy IPA, yeah, looks pretty good. Comes in a hmm, medium deep gold color. Actually has like a little burnt orange hue to it. Definitely a little bit hazy. I don't know. Definitely medium plus haze, not full on opaque. But definitely, I would say like, probably a little bit of crystal or something in here that gives it that big color, or maybe some unique. Smells pretty nice. Yeah, I get peaches, I get dank, I get a little bit of bright mango in there. I mean, this is kept in the fridge, so it's quite nice, but so ideal. But so combination of fruitiness and also that really nice kind of like dank character. Um, they don't really say what hops are in here, so I don't know. I would have guessed something like Simcoe Mosaic. Smells pretty good. This is a really nice combination of like green, piney, dank um, marijuana with a combination of like sweet fruits, um, peaches, apricot, uh, mango. Cheers. Yeah, still pretty good. So pretty good. 2 months in, that means this is good canning went on here. Um, I don't think I'm in a canning line, so it has to be Ironheart or somebody coming in. But for 2 months, it's pretty good. And for a lot of beers, the peak sort of maybe hits around like hazy IPAs at least 3 weeks, a month in, maybe 2 to 4 weeks in. Now we're at 8 weeks, so we're still pretty good. I mean, I imagine this beer must have tasted absolutely really good, like maybe a month ago, because we're now exactly at like 8 months. Sorry, 8 weeks in. So I want to say like 4 to 6 weeks. This beer must have been really good. It's great though. Um, the beer is a little bit light. It definitely is quite light. 5.9%. See, I would have I should have actually guessed before I said something. It's not a big IPA. It's under 6%, right around 6%. So it's more of that kind of like almost like hazy pale ale. I would have guessed, if I had a full on guess, I would have guessed this was either lower ABV hazy IPA or hazy pale ale, right? Up front, the flavors follow. It's actually not as fruity as the aroma shows, but it has a little bit of spritzy fruit character, a little bit of that kind of um, sweet orange thing, some tangerine going on, and then there's a nice theme of this kind of like dank green pine thing, but like still in the realm of like hazy IPA, and then has a little bit of fluffiness, but the beer ends up pretty dry. So this is sort of that kind of like super drinkable, um, hazy juicy thing that I think a lot of like non New England IPA people like. It has like beer quality to it, right? Like it doesn't have that heft like a Hefeweizen or a really big New England IPA. It plays sort of like regular beer, but has those characteristics that we like in hazy juicy IPA, right? Pretty good. Water seems quite nice. I don't get like the chalky thing. It seems like they clean off pretty nicely in the water. Um, Bitterness is restrained. Um, I must assume there's like almost no bittering hops in this one, just whirlpool and dry hopping. Slight little tinge of vegetal on the back end, but still very reasonable. It plays again a really good game of being dry, quote unquote, drinkable hoppy beer, while having a little bit of those juicy characteristics and those dank characteristics as well, which does play both in hazy IPA and West Coast. So I think that like is something that like sort of like if you had a Venn diagram of the two styles, you can share that and it's still in this beer, right? It's quite nice. It's very crushable. It's a very approachable beer. Um, I like that it's more like, yeah, I think it's more mature for sort of like a hazy kind of IPA. I think some people would want it more juicy, and I definitely can see that. I think at its peak, it probably had a little bit more fruit character that I really would have appreciated. But this is a really nice balance. It's a really nice place where it's like, again, for the people that are really tired of New England IPA, like tired of bad examples of New England IPA, I really appreciate this for its drinkability, its balance, its nice dry qualities and characteristics. This is quite nice. 8 weeks in, it's drinking very good. Rating? There is a little bit of a chemically thing. It could be from the hops, but I also might suspect something about the water. It'd be a little bit softer, not as distinct. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. It could just be the hops that's like throwing off this kind of like chemically thing, which is not necessarily bad, but it shows a little bit for me. A very picky palate. 89. Hey, better than never. Hazy IPA. Quite nice. Until next time, guys. Cheers later.